This is the second generation Volvo XC60. Very recently launched in South Africa, launched internationally last year, and it is actually the reigning world car of the year. That says a lot, doesn't it? Doesn't always say that much in terms of sales in South Africa for some strange reason, but maybe Volvo will actually break that tradition with this car. Very, very interesting, because the XC60 could very easily suffer from middle brother syndrome, middle child syndrome. What I mean by that is you get the baby XC40, you get this, the medium-sized XC60, and of course you get big brother XC90. All familiar shape, they look pretty similar in certain ways, but this one is very, very distinctive. You can see the big 21-inch wheels on here, mag wheels, tires, etc. The classic standard SUV shape, but it's got a lot of little touches to it that are quite distinctively Volvo as well. As I say, medium-sized SUV, lots of space, lots going for it. This is the D5 version. What that tells you is, of course, in Volvo speak, you only get 2-litre petrol and diesel engines, but the D5 gives you 173 kilowatts, 480 Newton meters of torque, believe it or not, and it has got the R design package. You can see the body kit that's on the car, you can see these large trapezoidal exhausts, and just generally you can see the R design kit that comes on it. And it does have, of course, the lovely powered tailgate, which I always love, opening up to boot space of approximately 400 litres or so, and over 1,000 litres if you do drop the rear seats, which I want to show you something in a moment on that. But if you have a look underneath here, you'll see that. That tells us that this particular car is fitted with Volvo's air suspension system as well, to give you, of course, many advantages, many features that air suspension will bring you, and allow for, of course, a couple of very interesting factors as well. You can even, if you press this button over here, the air suspension comes into it, where you can actually literally lower the car a little bit for ride height and for loading into the boot if you want. But something to show you is you have, of course, split rear seats, and these buttons over here, which will drop the seat, but you better not have anyone or anything on the back seat when you operate it, because watch out, it can be pretty vicious, so you got to watch out for that. But of course, another nice feature is you just close the tailgate like that. But this Volvo is not only about exterior features. Of course, you've got the very unusual, interesting rear tail lights as well, with the Thor's hammer shape to them, as they refer to it, being, of course, typically Swedish. But there's so much on the inside of this vehicle as well. Getting in behind the wheel of the XC60, of course, you can see it is a very typical Volvo, typical modern Volvo. But let's just give you one or two quick facts. If you look down to the bottom left over here, you'll see I've done 548 kilometers so far on this test, at an average of 8 litres per 100, which I think is pretty impressive for a large vehicle like this. And that 173 kilowatts is not exactly shy on power, so I think it's pretty good. Of course, you've got extremely comprehensive instrumentation as well, and also what I like, and we'll come to it in a few moments, is you even have, I hope you can see it over there, but you do have a heads-up display which does operate as well, and with navigation as well, which I love. And you even get the navigation repeated in the center of the dash, where you can see the little legend of the car over there now as well. So it does repeat in all those places, just to make it look really, really interesting too. So all these features are here for you all the time. Inside, of course, you've got the very familiar now tablet style infotainment system on the car. Brilliant system. The navigation has been updated, it works exceptionally well, easy to program, which I always find one of the more important factors. And of course, it's just a pure touch screen, etc. And you can, that's the overall consumption achieved over a much longer period by various drivers, not including myself. I showed you my consumption. You've got, of course, Bauer & Wilkins sound system, surround sound, very upmarket quality sound system in the car. because overall, you look around, you will just see you're surrounded by luxury, you're surrounded by comfort. The quality of the fittings and finishes really lives up to the standard of the vehicle. Standard on this one, of course, is this beautiful panoramic roof with the front section opening up as well as a normal sunroof option, which way you want to work it. The gearbox, 8-speed automatic gearbox, smooth, seamless, operates extremely well. And of course, you do have over here, just below the gear shift, your start-stop knob, and of course your drive mode selector over here, where you just simply press it and there it comes up on the screen. An off-road setting as well, where at low speeds it can allow, and of course that suspension which would allow for the off-road circumstances, and you do get dynamic as well, high performance. I've used dynamic mode a few times on this test. Let me tell you, it certainly gives a little bit of extra grunt, holds those gear ratios a little bit longer, and makes the car a little bit more fun to play with, shall we say. But now, being a Volvo, of course, and although they've broken away from the boring styling of Volvos and what Volvo were known for with styling, they also have always been known for their safety, haven't they? The test car has every possible safety spec fitted to it. I would take hours to run through the full list, but let me tell you, it obviously has the R-Design package, as I mentioned. It has the City Safe package on this particular car as well, and that gives you pedestrian detection. It gives you a system where the car will even steer to avoid an obstruction if it detects that a collision could happen. It of course has active cruise control, active braking, active everything, blind spot warning, cross traffic warning, etc. The whole spectrum are all fitted on this car to make it a traditionally safe, secure, family orientated Volvo, like it's meant to be and like Volvo always designed to be. Overall, this particular model, you can get into an XC60 from about 650 odd thousand rand. For the lower models, the D5 R-Design is listed at 770,000 rand approximately, but as I've mentioned, there are extras on this car. Volvo is another one where you certainly can, but their City Safe package, for example, comes in at around 70,000 rand, and bringing extra safety spec, I can never emphasize that enough, and the value and importance of that enough to anybody. You're looking for your family medium-sized SUV. Yes, there's competition, of course. There has to be, doesn't there? And BMW 3 Series comes in, Mercedes GLC comes in, the Lexus NX would come in, and I know I'm leaving out some, but there are lots of competitors in the segment. But you would be doing yourself a serious disservice if you didn't check out the Volvo XC60 among these competitors. It really is there. As I said, middle child syndrome, I think this is the favorite child. But then again, I'm testing the XC40 next. Let's see what it is, but they're totally different vehicles. The XC40 comes in as what they call the premium compact SUV. This is a premium medium SUV. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R, and I'll see you next time.